Hello, welcome to Diagonal Move. My name's Neil and today I'm going to do something a little bit different to what I've been doing recently on the channel because, as regular viewers may recall, I'm currently halfway through a complex game and that game is occupying my regular gaming table and is likely to be for some time. So it's a good opportunity to come up here on the smaller table and show you some games that either I wouldn't normally show, or do an unboxing, you know, just something a little bit different for 2 or 3 videos. So the game I'm going to start with is 12 Patrols, which is a print and play game. I believe it's print and play only, and it is, at least it was when I got hold of it. It was completely free from PnP Arcade, and it's very low component count, very quick game, quite a lot of fun. And all you have to do is find some cubes and some dice and make a few cards up. So how does this game work? Well, you need to make a 3x3 grid of these cards, and then over the course of the game you will fulfill the various conditions it says on the card. So for example, that there needs to be 2 different colours. You may have some other conditions, for example the dice need to be a certain value, or you may have a certain number of objects. Thematically, you're doing something to do with a kingdom and the cubes all represent different things, but it really is just, it's an abstract puzzle. You don't, the theme's kind of just there, but it's an abstract puzzle game, but it's a very interesting puzzle game that is very quick as well. It can be very quick, particularly if you do badly. So we may get a game or 2 even out of this particular playthrough. Well, let's shuffle the cards back in, we'll set up the game and we'll go from there. So the first thing to do is you take these cards, there are 12 of them, hence the name 12 Patrols, and give them a good shuffle. Take 3, put them to one side, and then you have a pile of 9 remaining. Okay, make sure your cubes are organised by colour, and then roll the dice. And then the colours of the dice need to go with the coloured cubes. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. And yeah, these dice and cubes don't specifically match, but hopefully they are close enough to be clear of which ones represent pale dice, which ones represent the medium dice, and which ones represent the darker coloured dice and cubes. Okay, so let's get rid of that dice tray. First thing we need to do, we need to draw ourselves 3 cards. Okay, we have the Woven Forest, the Lost Canyon, and the Rocky Shoals. The artwork is very good. I mean, particularly for what was for me a free game, the artwork's very good. Adds the nice touch to it, even though, as I mentioned, this could just be blank pieces of paper, really. Anyway, so what we have is this the symbol here. Now that symbol means items need to be of that colour if I were to place it in that row. Now I'm not finalised where these are going at the moment. This is like my hand, and depending on where in the grid you place it, you may have a row or a column that would need to have 2 objects in total in the whole row, 1 colour in a row, 2 in a column, that kind of things. Hopefully it will become a bit more clear when we decide which dice we're going to put. If we have a position like this, the cubes, sorry, the conditions at the bottom and at the very top, they don't need to be fulfilled. So the exterior edge conditions don't need to be fulfilled. But okay, let's decide where we're going to place these. Oh, one thing, if you have a number, that represents the total value of the pips on the dice in any one column. So for here, we need to have 5 going this way, ignoring the 6 because it's on the edge. Okay, so what are we going to do first? Well, generally speaking, matching three separate colours is probably one of the more difficult things to do. So let's leave that one to one side for a moment, and let's place, we've got 3 colours on that one, 3 colours on that one. So let's place the Woven Forest there. Take these 2 down to our hand area and then draw another card. We can, if we choose to, place the cubes and the dice before the row or column is complete, but once a row or column is complete, we have to place the various items in between. So what have we got now? Wild plains with 3 objects, a 3. Looking at our dice, we don't have a 3, and there's only really one way we can make a 3, so that's maybe a bit tricky. We do have some 5s and 6s, 3 colours on the bottom of each of those, 3 objects. So one way to potentially lose the game very quickly is to have mismatched goals. So for example, were I to decide to place this here and then we placed another card at the top, you can't have 3 and then 2. You have to have 1 type all the way along, so you need to be very careful of that. But I think what I'll do is I'll try and keep them separate as much as possible, and let's place that there with the intention of making this the edge, so we don't have to find 3 cubes or 3 different objects that side. Taking your card, and this time we have Merchant's Cove, which requires 3 objects above, or a total of 3 objects in the row going in that direction. Dice value of 2, 1 colour in that direction, and then nothing at the bottom. That might be quite useful actually, because we could place this here, allow a space for a 3, and then still allowing us to place 3 objects down the bottom. Okay, next card. Stormfjords. 3 colours on the side, 2 objects at the bottom, 2 objects to the left, nothing at the top. That potentially is going to be quite good just there, because this would not count. 2 objects, 1 colour. No, that wouldn't work because this and this would counteract that. Okay, so it's not placed out there. Let's place that one. So then we don't have any requirement going this way from that card, and we can fulfill these relatively straightforward. So how do we fulfill these? Well, simply just place objects, and they don't, except for the dice, they don't really have to be any particular object. So for example, we could place the dice there and a cube. That would be fine, but we may need that particular value. But we could do that. We could place 2 cubes, the row going this way, and then we can place 1 colour going that way. But I think what we'll do is we'll place 1 medium colour and 1 darker colour, just to make sure we don't trip ourselves up a little bit later on. Okay. The next set of cards we have is the Hilltop Ruins, and we've got the Stormfield still and the Rocky Shoals. Let's have a look. We have 2 objects, 2 colours, 3 objects, dice values. I think I like the idea of this card on the top row, because we have nothing to worry this side, and then 2 objects. Yeah, that would work. So we have 1 colour. So long as those 2 items there are the same colour and there's nothing there that's going to contradict that, we should be okay. So new card. Because we need to think about something for the bottom row as well, don't we? But okay, let's look at what we've got. We've got the Dark Marshes, the Rocky Shoals, and the Stormfields. Okay. That's not great there, because we would have a mismatch. here would be not great because we can't make a 4 from 3 dice. With the Rocky, that's contradicting itself with the single token, the single object there, and 2 objects on that card. That wouldn't work there either, because although we'd be okay going this way, going down we would not, because again the mismatched objects. Just knock that out of the way. Where else can we place these then? That's an interesting question, isn't it? Let's place them here. Let's place the Stormfields here. And the reason we'll do that is we don't have to place anything here. There's nothing to contradict those 3 in that row, and there's nothing to contradict there. So long as we can have a total value of 3 going in, wrong one, 3 going in that direction, we're okay. And then 3 colours going in this direction, we can do that just with 3 cubes. We should be okay. So, okay, last card. And 3 spaces to fill with these last cards. Okay, so the new card out was the Town Square, which is that very awkward 3 colour requirement going up and 2 going to the left, nothing to the right. Okay. I've just realised. Oh no, we've that's not right. We can't win. I don't know when I did it, but I inadvertently placed that there, which is going to be an impossible win. So we have lost that game. I don't know when I did that, but we have lost that particular game. It was a very, very quick game. So let's start again and just see what happens with the second turn, shall we? And the good thing about this game is there's quite a lot of variety. We do have the different cards, but it's such a simple game to set up and play. All you need to do is roll the dice. Let's roll those 3. And then these ones. Oh, lots of high numbers again. And then discard 3 cards and start again. Sort of game that you can get through multiple games in an evening, and it is a very addictive game. Okay, let's try and go a little bit quicker now that we're a bit familiar with it. So 3 colours, 3 objects, 3 objects. They're the awkward ones. Can we make a 7? We can make a 7 without too much trouble. So let's start with that one. 1 colour going this way, 3 objects that way, and a 7, and then that's blank. Okay. New one is the Town Square, that very awkward one from last time. Hilltop Ruins, which kind of I mistakenly placed in the wrong location last time. We can make a 7 with 3 dice. Actually, we can make a 7 with 2 dice, with a 4 and a 3. And then in this direction, we'd only need 1 colour. Let's do that. Let's put the 4 and the 3. So that value is okay. We just need 1 thing there. Obviously, it would only be 1 colour, so that would work. And let's do that then. Let's just place that there to make that nice and straightforward. We have just 1 colour. Should have drawn another card. Have a hand of 3. And we now have a Lost Canyon and Merchant's Cove and that Town Square again. We could go that way, that way, or we could come out this way, or just have them in columns. I like the idea of trying to make this relatively simple. So Let's do that. One colour, one object, and then 5. So long as the dice are so long as that and that are the same colour, which in this case would have to be a cube and a dice, we should be okay. Let's take that new card, Woven Forest. That's relatively friendly. Let's place the Lost Canyon and then do that dice. So we have a 5, and the dark cubes match the darker dice, so that should be okay. Redraw. We have the Stormfields again. Okay. Let's place that one there. We have 3 colours, 3 objects. We can place the 3 objects here in 3 different colours and fulfill that requirement, so long as something here is blank or friendly anyway. And here we have a card that's probably not going to allow us to do that. Oh, actually, I think it will. Let's place that there. We can place one of each cube, which will be a total of 3 that way, 3 that way, and they're all different colours. Excellent. Okay, so let's do cards. Oh, importantly, that's still friendly. That still works, and that bit doesn't. I've done it again, and yep, lost again. Okay, I think I've embarrassed myself enough. So that is 12 Patrols, a lovely, puzzly, abstract game with some very nice illustrations. That is all the better for being a free print and play game. I hope you've enjoyed this. Haven't done a smaller game like this for quite some time, so I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.